Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inshallah, today we'll continue with the second to the last section here. Af'al al-madhi wa-dhammi. Okay, so like this. So if you recall from in the way this chapter is structured, this chapter is all about the awamil or the governing words. The first section was huruf al-amila, the governing particles, and the second section was af'al al-amilata, the governing verbs, which included many of these, which we have talked about: al-fi'l ma'rifa, al-fi'l majhul, and al-fi'l lazim, fi'l naqisa, and al-fi'l mutaaddi, and then af'al muqarabati wa raja'i wa shuru'i, which in fact is this one is a type of a fail naqis, like here. It's another example of fail naqis. So there are four types of fail naqis I've learned. So kana wa akhawatuha is one of them, and af'al muqarabati wa raja'i wa shuru'i are also related. So these two are actually related. So kana wa akhawatuha, and these are four categories of fi'l naqis. That is, fi'l naqis has kana wa akhawatuha and af'al muqarabati wa raja'i wa shuru'i. Today, inshallah, we'll talk about this section 4.2.7, af'alu madhi wa dhammi, words of praise and blame. So here we go. Section 4.2.7. 4.2.7, which is on page 121 in my textbook, page 121. So, af'alu madhi wa dhammi. Okay, verbs of praise and blame. Verbs of praise and blame. Okay, now these are very unique verbs. Okay, so and then let's just write here. So there's a verbs of praise. So praising somebody in, out of the ordinary way. You can praise people in different ways and something to stand out. Okay, so words of praise are ni'mah. Okay, so this is ni'mah, ajr al-amilin type thing, ni'mah, and habbatha. Now, I have also learned that this habbaza actually is like two words in one. Okay, and the habbaza is actually the words of praise, and za is another word in it. So hopefully we can talk about that. So ni'mah and habbaza are two words of praise. Examples are given. Ni'ma rajulu zaydan. Okay, so ni'mah. So ni'mah, ni'mar rajulu zaydan. Okay. Now, what's very interesting about these is you will see they're very unique, and that both of these are marfu. Okay, both of them are marfu. Usually, whenever you have a fi'l, all right, and then the fa'il will be marfu, and everything else after that will be mansub. Okay, and that's the typical scenario. With the ordinary fi'ls, madi mudari type, the fa'il is marfu, and everything else besides that is mansub. But here's a case where both of these are rafun. Okay, and they will talk about more of this. Ni'ma rajulu zaydan. This is how wonderful a man Zayd is. How a wonderful man Zayd is. So like that, words of praise. And then habbaza This one here, example. So حبذا حبذا okay زيد, like this again. So how wonderful a man is Zaid. How wonderful a person is Zaid. So this is like how wonderful. They say how wonderful man Zaid is. You can say how wonderful. That's how they write. How wonderful man. But there's no regulars here. How wonderful is Zaid. I think that might be better, right? And then so these are verbs of praise. Okay, and then there are verbs of blame. Okay, words of blame. So here is words of blame. All right, I'll put them in red. Okay, bi'sa. Okay, this is bi. Bi. There's a hamza there. There's a bi'sa, and then sa'a. 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 Okay, so these are both words of blame. بئس الرجل زيد. Now رجل all of a sudden unfortunately turns bad. بئس. This is a different opinion of Zayd, I guess. بئس الرجل. رجل. بئس الرجل زيد. All right, and then ساء الرجل زيد. Okay, it should be. See, there's a sa. Sa الرجل زيد. Okay, so those are just example how evil a man is Zaid. How evil. How evil a man. How they say how an evil man Zaid. How an evil man Zaid is. Okay, and then they translated it, said how an evil man Zaid is. Okay, so these are words of praise and words of blame. So we have to know this ni'mah and habbaza. Okay, now that which appears after the fa'il is called makhsus bil madhi or makhsus bil dhammi. Okay, so maybe I should write this. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so this is how these are analyzed. Okay, so like ni'mah here. Okay, ni'mah. Okay, this is known as fa'lu. Okay, fa'lu al madhi, right? Fa'lu madhi. So that's fa'lu madhi. Okay, and then over here is this is ni'mah. The first is the fa'il. Okay, so this here rajulu. Okay, is the fa'il. Maybe I will make it right. I'll just fit this in. It's I can do this. Hang in there. This is fa'il. Okay, and then so what is this? So fa'il, as you know, it's usually marfu. That's cool, and but this is not like maf'ul bihi. Zaid here is not a maf'ul bihi. Okay, so this is fa'il, and what Zaid is, okay, now that is called, okay, makhsus bil madhi. Some makhsus means something special bil madhi. Okay, so this is something. This is called. This is a term that we have to understand. This is called makhsusun bil madhi. Makhsusun. Makhsusun, something that's very special. Bil, okay, madhi, okay, something special. Madhi, that's the term that's used for that, and that's also rafun. So this is the only time where a fi'l has two marfu. This is a very unique situation when a fi'l has two marfu. Okay, So that's one marfu and there's a second marfu. Both the fa'il is marfu and the makhsus bil madhi is also marfu. Okay. Now in this scenario where you have verbs of blame over here, the bi'sa. Okay. Now this is called fi'lu. Okay, it's not madhi. So for fi'lu, the blame is fi'lu dhambi, right? I should say, when you use the color of the fail zombie, right? I guess we've been using kind of color coding these. So this here, okay, that's the fi'l a-zambi of blame. Okay, a-zambi. Okay, that's how they spell. Okay, fi'lu a-zambi. Okay, and then this again will be fa'il, a-rajulu. That's the fa'il. And here will be makhsus a-zambi here. This would be makhsus, makhsusun, مخصوص okay بالذنب بالذم okay مخصوص بالذم بالذم ذم okay, like that. Okay, so that is the construction of these. So you will have this verb, okay, and then this will be rafun, and this will be rafun, this will be fa'il, and this will be makhsus. Okay, so this will be makhsus. That's how these are constructed. Okay, so that was the first point over here, and maybe I should write this neatly. So they'll start at either fa'l madhi or fa'l dhammi. Then there'll be fa'il, and here there will be makhsus, either makhsus madhi or makhsus dhammi. Okay, so that's how these are constructed, and as I said, both of these are raf'un here. Okay, both of them are raf'un. Both the makhsus and the fa'il are raf'un. So that's why these are kind of unique in this sense over here of them both being marfu. Okay, so that was the first point. That which appears after the file is called makhsus bil madhi or makhsus bil dhammi. Makhsus bil dhammi. Okay, that was the first point. Okay, so I'll just put that as maybe like number 1 point. These are like notes. Okay, so I'll just put these as notes. Okay, notes. That's point number 1 for the notes. And then point number 2 for the notes, here it has like several points in it. I'll just put it as proof. The file of the ni'ma and bi'sa and sa'a must be one of the following. Okay. Alright, so this is important. The fa'il, okay. The fa'il, okay, of ni'ma, bi'sa and sa'a, of these. Ni'ma, ni'ma, okay, see, of ni'ma, okay, bi'sa, and sa'a, okay, must be one of the following. So they must have some special characteristics. So these files over here, okay, they must have some characteristics. Okay, so what are those characteristics? There are 4 characteristics that are mentioned. So what's the first one? Okay, prefixed with al. They must be prefixed with al. They must have al. Okay, that's easy enough. Ni'ma rajulu zaydun. And we see that in all of these examples that are prefixed with al. Okay, so they are prefixed with al. All right. So the file must have a file must of ni'ma and bi'sa and sa'a, all of these 3. let me put that. We have some kind of, for these three, must have these characteristics. Okay, that's the first one. Number two, what's the second point? They can be that or mudaf to a noun prefixed with al. Okay, or they can be mudaf, mudafun, okay, to a noun, mudaf to a noun, which is prefixed with al. Prefixed with al. In other words, there has to be al in somewhere. So let's get an example of this. نعم صاحب العلم زيد. نعم okay, صاحب بالعلم, صاحب العلم زيد. Okay, so here you can see it is a mudaf. Okay, the file must be a mudaf to something that has al. So here's the al. You see that it has to have that. So this is a mudaf to something that has al. Okay, so either it has an al or it's a mudaf to something that is al. Okay. So it's all mudaf to something that is al. Okay, number three. Okay, so this would be what a wonderful learned man Zaid is. This translation of this is what a wonderful man, what a wonderful learned man Zaid is. Okay, so okay. Now, a hidden dhamir followed by a nakira mansubatun being tamiz. Okay. Okay, now this is it's okay. Well, let's talk about a hidden. It can be a hidden dhamir, the file. We're talking about the file. A hidden dhamirun. Dhamirun. It could be a hidden dhamir followed by a nakira mansubatun. Okay, followed by a nakira nakiratun mansubatun. Nakira mansubatun. Okay, that being the tamiz. This will be the tamiz. Tamizun. Okay. So, example. All right. So, ni'ma rajulan zaydun. Okay. So, ni'ma rajulan. Okay. Zaydun. So this will be translated again. What a wonderful man Zayd is. Okay. So this is actually, okay, what this actually is, ni'ma okay, huwa rajulan Zaydun. Okay, so it could be a dhamir followed by a nakira mansub. Okay, so a hidden dhamir. So in here, okay, there is a hidden dhamir. Right here is a hidden dhamir. Right there, you can't see it, but it's there. In there's a dhamir that's hidden, followed by a nakira mansuba. Nakira mansuba. A nakira mansuba, not al. There's no al. In other words, if you're not going to have an al there, okay, you have to have a hidden damir followed by a nakira mansuba for that, which is going to elaborate that damir. Ni'ma huwa rajulan zaydun. Okay, Zaid, how wonderful a man is Zaid. So this is also translated as same. What a wonderful man Zaid is. So that's number three. Okay, and number four. In other words, these are the four ways of constructing these sentences. Number four, the word ma. The word ma. You have to have the word ma. Okay, so all right, the word ma. So let me write the example here. So here we have bi'sa, bi'sa, bi'sa ma. If it's not going to be a al after it, you have to have ma. bi'sa ma kanu, kanu, bi'sa ma kanu yaf'alun, yaf'aluna. Okay. All right. So bi'sa ma kanu. If so, what follows? In other words, the way these are constructed, what follows these words must be either one of these four things. It has to be either al, okay. I'll use a different color here. It has to be either al, okay, or a mudaf to it al. Okay, you have to have it al. If there is no al, you have to have a hidden damir followed by nakira mansub over here, that acts as a tamiz. نعم هو رجل زيد. Or you have to have the word ma. بئس ما كانوا يفعلون. Okay, how evil is what they used to do. Okay, this is like how evil is. How evil is what they used to do. Okay, so this is how, these are the four things. This is how four ways they are constructed basically. Okay, now there's, if you note over here, sa'a bi'sa ni'ma, habbaza is not included here. Okay, habbaza is not included here. The reason for that is, I'll tell you why. Because habbaza, as it said, habba, I should write this nicely. Okay, habbaza, habbaza. Okay, okay, zaydun. Okay, habbaza zaydun. Okay, this word. All right, habbaza zaydun. The habba is the fi'l. Okay, so here, habba here, from here to here, that's the fi'l. Okay, and then the za over here, the za over here, okay, is the fa'il. All right, okay, this here is the za here is ism ishara. Okay, that's what they say. Ismul ismul isha isharati. Okay, this is the fa'il. Okay, this is the fa'il. Okay, and zaydun here, okay, is maqsus. zaydun here is maqsusun. Okay, maqsusun bil, okay, bil madhi. Okay, like this. Okay, now look at this is unique to habbaza. Okay, because if you remember the way these were constructed, okay, this was the fi'l. Okay, we said that that's the same. Okay, and then the fa'il was what came, the word was the next, and then maqsusun bihi. But with ni'ma rajulu zaydun, you don't say habbaza rajulu zaydun, you say habbaza zaydun, because za is the fa'il. So in this is like in the other one, that a rajulu that was there, a rajulu that was there. Okay, the za is standing in for that. Okay, so as I said, the habbaza is actually two words in one. This is fi'l, and za is ism shara, which is fa'il, and zaydun is maqsusun bil adl. Okay, in habbaza zaydun. All right, because even in the example they gave in the beginning, if you note, we had for حبذا, we just said حبذا زيد. There was no رجل in this because the zahid is اسم إشارة, which is the fa'il. So this is فعل فاعل, فعل فاعل, and مخصوص بالمدح. Okay, so that's a different construction there. Okay, so that's that. And these with the notes here that I put those as notes, but they were just like comments over there. Okay, but now here actually we have two additional notes. Okay, so I'm going to put the real notes over here. Okay, so notes come, we can put the notes over here, inshallah. Notes. All right, here comes the real notes. The other ones were just points, and I wrote them as notes. Okay, notes. The verbs are used in the past tense in their singular form. Okay, number one. Okay, these verbs are used in past tense. In past tense, in the singular form. In their singular form. In their singular. In their singular form. Okay. For both masculine and feminine, they're used the same. You don't change them for men or women. Okay, masculine or feminine. Okay, or feminine. Okay, so they don't change for masculine or feminine. Okay, and then number two, that's how they're used. In other words, they don't change. At times, the makhsus bil mahdi is dropped. Okay, at times, and in the Quran, this happens a lot apparently. The makhsus, okay, the makhsus bil mahdi, makhsusun, makhsusun bil madhi, okay, bil madhi is dropped. Okay, is dropped. Okay, so na'mal abdu. Okay, so here's example. Na'mal abdu. Na'mal abdu. Okay, so this was Na'mal abdu ayyubu. Okay, Na'mal abdu ayyubu. Okay, so Na'mal abdu. So oftentimes the makhsus bil ad is dropped. Okay, so that's that. And they analyzed this sentence here, which I partially analyzed, which I shall do here again. Okay, so here I have written ni'ma, ni'ma rajulu zaydun. So this is known as, I guess I said again, this is فعل المدح. This is فعل madhi, fi'l of praise. Okay, and this was the fa'il. Okay, that's the fa'il. Okay, and zaydun here is the makhsus. That is the makhsus. Okay, makhsusun bil madhi. Okay, makhsusun bil madhi. Okay, so something special to the madhi. And before I finish, it's not mentioned here, but sometimes ni'ma rajulu zaydun, sometimes you can have like a hal over here, a description in terms of in what way his in Zayd is wonderful. نعم الرجل زيد كاتبا as a writer, or aliman as a alim, etc. So you can have hal after this, which can be mansub, which was not mentioned here, but I saw that on the YouTube. You can have hal after it. So anyway, so that's that. And so فعل ماضي فعل فاعل and مخصوص بالعدد. Okay, so however, the way this sentence is, okay, this is kind of critical because the only time they mention it in this whole section, okay, this is not a jumla fi'liya, okay, it's not a jumla fi'liya even though it starts with fi'l, okay, what it is jumla ismiya, but the mubtada here, right here, is mubtada that comes before the khabar. This is called mubtada'un mu'akhkharun. Mubtada mubtada'un. Okay, they write mubtada'un like this. I've seen mubtada written like this. Mubtada'un like this. I kind of prefer this, but I'll write it the way the book writes it. Mubtada'un mu'akhkharun. Mu'akhkharun. That comes afterwards. Mu'akhkharun. Mu'akhkharun. And this is khabar muqaddam. This is here khabar muqaddam. Okay, that is khabarun. Okay, muqaddamun. Muqaddamun. Okay, khabar that comes first. Okay, and then together, okay, mubtada and khabar together here will give you jumla ismiya. Jumla ismiya khabariya. Like this. Jumla ismiya khabariya. Okay, so that's how you analyze these sentences. Okay, so let's review what we have learned and then we're done. Alhamdulillah. So in this section we learned about af'alu madhi wa dhammi, verbs of praise and blame. So verbs of praise and blame. Okay. So words, and there are two in each category. Words of praise are verbs of praise are ni'ma and habbaza. As I said, habbaza is two words in one. It is fa'il and fa'il together. Okay, habbaza fa'il fa'il together. So ni'ma and habbaza. So ni'ma rajulu zaydun, habbaza zaydun. And the thing about this is the two things that come after this fa'il, they're both marfu. Okay, and so verbs of praise are ni'ma and habbaza, and verbs of blame are bi'sa and sa'a. Bi'sa rajulu zaydun, sa'a rajulu zaydun. How an evil man say this. Okay, so those are there's two in each category that we have to remember. Example are given. The way this is written is ni'ma is فعل مدحي, and الرجل is fa'il, and zaydun is مخصوص بالمدحي. It's not like maf'ul bihi or anything. That doesn't apply over here. This is a very special scenario of a special fail in a unique, in its own unique category. Okay, so fail madhi, fa'il and makhsus bil madhi, and here bi'sa rajulu zaydun is fail dhammi, fail of verb of blame, and this is the fa'il, and makhsusul bil dhammi is zaydun. Okay, that's how you analyze it. And then after this it didn't go over here, and then the rest of this examined, the way it is examined is over here. Is we said if you remember this, so we did that together. This is actually khabar mukhattamun, and zaydun is mubtada muakharun. So khabarun mukhattamun and mubtada muakharun. This is jumla ismiya khabariya. So these are jumla ismiya khabariya, even though they start with fa'il, but it's because the mubtada is muakhar. Okay, that's that. That was the first note. The second point was that the fa'il of ni'ma, bi'sa, and sa'a must be one of the following. It has to be preceded with an al, or it could be a mudaf to a noun that's prefixed with al, ni'ma sahib al-ilmi, or it has a hidden damir followed by a nakira mansoob, okay, which is the tamiz. So ni'ma rajulan zaydun, which is ni'ma huwa rajulan zaydun, like this. Okay, it had a hidden damir. So here is a hidden damir. Okay, or it has to be a the file is ma. In this case, this is the fa'il. Okay, ma is the fa'il. بئس ما كانوا يفعلون. Okay, so those are the four things that have to, the construction of these sentences are made. And then the habbaza is different because habbaza is two words in one. Habba is fi'il, the is ismus ishara, which is the fa'il, fi'il and fa'il, like this, and zaydun is the makhsusun bil madhi. Okay, and then that's how you analyze this particular sentence. And there are two notes that we said over here, and the two notes were number one, these verbs are used in past tense and their singular form. In their singular form, the form does not change. Okay, so they're used in past tense and singular form at the time. At times the مخصوص بالمدح is dropped. نعم Abdu as Ni'mal Abdul Ayyub. For example, you say Ni'mal, how wonderful is a slave is he, so to speak. Okay, and that's this section. Alhamdulillah. Next time we'll go on to the next one. As-salatu wa salam wa rasulillah. Alhamdulillah.